every zombie game will try to convince you that even in a zombie apocalypse, the real monsters are actually the humans, on account of their treachery and selfishness and ability to use guns. Makes you think.
Now, what the f***'s the problem?
This, however, is a load of rubbish because we all know the real monsters are the monsters, by which we mean the terrifying zombies that want to scare you senseless and eat your tender human flesh. What's more, not all zombies are created equal, and some special types of zombie are particular nightmare fuel, what with their special powers to sneak up on you, or explode, or make the worst sounds you've ever heard. Consider now the 7 scariest zombies that shambled into the picture and made you want to stop playing immediately. Also, beware light spoilers for the following games.
A lot of the other zombies in this list are terrifying, yes, but they're also in zombie games where you expect to find horrifying undead creatures and would probably ask for your money back if they didn't show up. What's arguably scarier is a nightmarish zombie turning up somewhere you don't expect it, like in your laundry basket or a colourful children's game made by Nintendo. That's a big part of the reason why ReDeads from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the N64 are still so remembered today. I say remembered, not fondly remembered, because these things are absolutely horrible. The first time you encounter a ReDead, it's just crouched in a room, gently shuddering and moaning to itself, which I'm going to say, as first impressions go, is bad. When it unfurls itself, however, and you get a good look at it, things go from bad to worse as you take in its weird desiccated skin, hunched posture, and almost featureless mask? Face? To be honest, the more rudimentary N64 graphics actually make the ReDead scarier, as the lack of detail lets our imagination fill in the blanks. And I am 100% convinced this thing is wearing a mask made of human skin. While it seems slow, the ReDead has a nasty trick up its no sleeves, which is that it can emit a high-pitched scream that paralyzes you with fear. This gives it ample opportunity to jump onto your back and start, wow, biting you in the head! Nintendo, what the hell? What's next? Zombie Mario with an axe in his head? Alright, does someone want to go over and check on Nintendo?
On paper, the standard zombies in Dying Light should be pretty scary. They look disgusting, they show up in huge numbers, and they will definitely attempt to eat your face off and swallow your eyeballs whole if you get too close. At least you wouldn't have to look at them anymore. The reason Dying Light zombies don't feel that much of a problem is that your playable character, Kyle Crane, is some kind of parkour demigod, able to scramble up a building and away from danger faster than you can say Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Which is actually not that fast, but you take my point.
Crane, it's too close to sunset. You need to turn back now.
Jane, I'm almost there. I can do this.
Upgrade your parkour abilities through the skill tree, and you'll even be able to run, jump, and bounce off the zombies' heads like this is some sort of gritty Sonic the Hedgehog reboot. Wow, the Green Hill Zone has really gone to shit. So you'll forgive us then for having a casual disregard for the dangers of Dying Light's zombie-infested city. You're fine as long as night doesn't fall. Oh no, night fell. It's at this point you'll encounter your first volatile, who is very pleased to eat you. You heard what I said. Volatiles are Dying Light's most dangerous enemies. They're extremely fast, extremely strong, and look like they fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. And also, the ugly tree was on fire. Your best course of action is to run away as fast as you can and try and lose the pursuing volatiles. Stop even to turn around and see how far away they are, and you're almost certainly going to end up as zombie chow. That's not to say volatiles are completely unstoppable, they can be damaged and, crucially, are frightened away by ultraviolet light. That's why my plan for the zombie apocalypse is to hole up in one of those neon bowling alleys. No volatiles and free shoes. It's pretty much a flawless plan.
How long do we have?
Hours. Maybe.
Then let's not waste one more second.
This way.
If you can trust the scientists at Umbrella Corporation to do one thing, it's to create new and ever more disturbing versions of their classic humanoid zombie. And that's not even counting the new and exciting strides they're making over there in gigantic non-humanoid bioorganic weapons. Yes, Umbrella's is the kind of devil-may-care maverick science that gives rise to the truly regrettable new zombie type in the Resident Evil 3 remake known as Pale Heads. You can thank some bright spark from the Umbrella marketing department for coming up with the name Pale Heads for this new line of zombies, when they could equally have called them Weird Heads, or No Skins, or Terrifyingly Nude Eyeless Monster People. Your first encounter with one such pale head zombie is in Umbrella's underground storage facility, where Jill Valentine has enough to deal with without folding a new zombie variant into the mix, thank you very much.
This must be the way underground.
While above ground Raccoon City succumbs to the zombie menace, your girl Jill has battled her way to a dark and foreboding subterranean warehouse. There she has to contend with professional jerkass Nikolai giving her the runaround, as well as the typically terrible faulty wiring, because the only person worse at their job than an Umbrella scientist is an Umbrella electrician.
I must admit, I respect your tenacity, but I'm afraid our games end here.
Here is the point at which your sinewy new friend suddenly and literally drops in, whereupon you lose your cool and or lunch. This is a skin-crawling first encounter, not just because it looks like this creature's skin has crawled clean off its body, but on account of the way this first palehead was, on reflection, just dangling there all along like a casually flayed corpse, waiting to belly flop right behind you.
You think this is over?
As if that weren't enough of a big nope, it turns out these palehead zombies are plentiful down here and much, much more resilient than Zombie Classic, thanks to a special mutation that gives these zombies a fast healing regenerative factor. The neat side effect of this fast regeneration is that paleheads give off steam like a poached chicken breast. Did I say neat? I meant upsetting, especially if you're into poached chicken breasts. At any rate, look forward to running out of ammo while trying to put down one of these upgraded zombies, and then I guess look forward to having it rip out your jugular. So, how many Umbrella shares can I put you down for?
Considering that you and protagonist Isaac Clarke spend the entirety of the series fighting nightmarish flesh deck chairs with knives for arms, a Dead Space enemy really has to be a special kind of terrifying to stand out. But for our money, the necromorph most likely to make you nope out of the sprawl and into the cool, indifferent vacuum of space is the crawler, who we first encounter in the station's daycare centre. Crawlers are just like human babies, only with one crucial difference. Their head is on backwards, their legs are fused together, and their body is a giant explosive sack that detonates with the force of a bundle of TNT. Oh, that's 3 things. Isaac, I said, that's 3 things. I don't think he's listening. If you decide to keep on playing after this touching scene instead of, say, ejecting the game disc and microwaving it so it can never be played again, you'll come across many more crawlers throughout the game, and let me tell you, the encounters don't get any more pleasant. Not only do the crawlers bawl like squally infants, a sound that surely ranks in nobody's top 10, they're also quick, small, and capable of crawling through unexpected gaps, making them a real threat. Sure, you can usually dispatch them with a single shot, but when they attack in a group, as they often do, it can be easy to be overwhelmed, at which point you might want to say goodbye to your limbs, as they'll be going on a short trip, and I'm pretty sure it's one way. They're not all bad though. If you cut off the baby's head, you can pick up their dead body and throw it at the other babies, killing them all, and I'm halfway through this sentence and it's already the worst thing I've ever said. Thanks a lot, Dead Space 2.
Alex, that thing's incredible. You need an incredible brand name. Something that really sells it.
Who am I going to sell it to?
The Combine's not going to be here forever. You should be thinking about the future, Alex.
Well, how about I call it the Alyx?
It's a little derivative of the Russells, but yeah, provisionally, sure. The Alyx.
Yeah. Alyx.
Virtual reality game HalfLife Alyx, which came out this year, finally gave fan favourite character Alex Vance something to do beyond just getting the silent treatment from Gordon Freeman.
Oh, and by the way, nice to finally meet you.
Pretty rude. Alex should maybe be careful what she wishes for though, because more than any Half-Life game before it, Half-Life Alyx is a proper horror game. And with this being VR, you're going to be getting up close and personal with a lot of extremely gross stuff. Okay, is it possible to un-invent virtual reality? Half-Life Alyx gives us our best, most unsettling look at an enemy that has been a stalwart of the Half-Life series since the very first game, namely the headcrab zombie. These are regular humans that have been zombified by a parasitic headhugger that is the least desirable piece of headwear since this one. Venture down into the subway in the early part of the game and you'll be treated to a classic horror movie jump scare as you approach one headcrab zombie only to have another one smash through the window beside you. Ah! Look, for real, if we all just collectively agree that virtual reality never happened, it could work! Perhaps the most disturbing thing about the headcrab zombies in Half-Life Alyx is witnessing in 1-to-1 scale the sheer size of the parasite that is latched to the zombie's head. It is the same size, shape and texture as an uncooked turkey, which is going to make preparing Christmas dinner extra traumatic this year. It doesn't help that rather than just tapping the X button, Half-Life Alyx makes you painstakingly reload your pistol manually, meaning you're often wrestling with resetting the slide as one of these shambling monstrosities bears down on you. At this point, I can barely even look at the things. If only there was something I could do to help me get over my headcrab zombie phobia. Okay, you know what? This is definitely helping. Fine, you can reinvent virtual reality.
Stalkers.
In a fresh and excitingly disgusting twist on the origin story of a zombie outbreak, The Last of Us imagines a virulent fungal infection that infests humankind, transforming ordinary folks into hyper-aggressive fungus zombies. This is a real bummer for the surviving humans in the post-apocalypse. No matter how many times they get to use the line, he might be a zombie, but he's a fun guy.
Get off of me!
No hilarious pun is adequate compensation for fighting these nightmare mushroom zombies, especially not when this strain of cordyceps causes its victims to undergo several stages of mutation as the infection develops, each more grotesque than the last. For us though, the multi-step mutation process reaches peak scariness early on with the infected type known as the Stalker. Guess what it does?
Oh shit.
In the case of the Stalker, the fungal growth hasn't overtaken the brain of its host so completely that it doesn't know a thing or two about being a stealthy bastard, which is what makes it so bowel-emptyingly scary. The Stalker can move quickly and quietly to sneak up on you when you least expect it, which frankly, if there are rules about being a zombie, they should definitely prohibit that kind of terrifying out-of-genre nonsense. Stalkers aren't quite as powerful as the berserking, throat-ripping clickers that they all dream of one day becoming, but then again they do have the extremely unpleasant trick of becoming fungally conjoined with a wall, then tearing themselves loose when you unwittingly pass by. Hey, he might be a zombie, but he is a fun guy. No, not worth it.
At first, Resident Evil 4 feels like something of a departure from the rest of the series. A lot of it is set outside during the daytime, and you're fighting enemies that aren't zombies, but rather retain a degree of human intelligence. I mean, apart from when they run at you when you've got a rocket launcher. Not content to just do a whole new thing really well, however, Resident Evil 4 then goes on to flex on everyone by dropping probably the scariest zombie in the entire series, because Resident Evil 4 is brilliant at everything. The zombie in question is the Regenerator, a towering grey hulk of a thing with a face that is 60% teeth that we first encounter lying down on a bed in the cryogenic lab. This is presumably so it feels relaxed and well rested for what's coming, which is it effing you up. According to Lewis's notes, the Regenerators have a superior metabolism that allows them to regenerate lost body parts at incredible speeds. What this means for you is the worrying realization that blowing this thing's legs off only makes it angry. The best way to kill the Regenerator is to use a thermal camera and kill the Plagas parasites inside its body, but that does mean A, being close to the Regenerator, and B, actually having to look at the Regenerator, both of which are extremely low on our current to-do list. Although the Regenerator is scary because of how unkillable it is, a fairly significant chunk of this zombie creature's horror comes from the noise it makes. If there's a Regenerator in the area, you'll know pretty early on thanks to its signature sound. A kind of wheezy, ragged, snuffly breathing that sounds like Darth Vader drowning in a vat of pudding, only way less whimsical. As if that wasn't bad enough, there is a second form of the Regenerator called the Iron Maiden, which can eject long, thin spikes out of its body like a 7-foot-tall humanoid pufferfish that wants to kill you. Yeah, I hope they store clean trousers in this storage room, that's all I'm saying.
Well, what a treat. 7 of the scariest zombies that made us want to stop playing immediately on account of how scary they were, so well done to them, I guess. Why not watch another YouTube video now, and why not make that YouTube video an Outside Xbox video? I can heartily recommend this one on screen right now. And if that's not your bag, not your flavour, not your vibe right now, then how about this video, equally good, bit different, from our sister channel Outside Extra, which I thoroughly endorse. That's me, Jane Douglas, I endorse this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time.